Hello everybody, I know I probably made this video, but I kind of had more to say about Toy Story 5 in a way. If I made this video, let me know, and yeah, I don't know if I did, I don't remember, my memory is like telling me I didn't. So just in case I didn't, then here we go. Although even if I did, and you probably let me know in the comments, then here's part 2. Ish, I don't know. So, uh, okay. Before I get into the whole Toy Story 5, and I know it's not coming out until June of this year. Although there was rumors that it was supposed to come out sometime last year, or sometime between, or sometime in 2024. But due to the SAG after strike that was going on around that time, it kind of got pushed back. So, um, I wanted Now, I love Toy Story. I love the Toy Story movies. I love the Toy Story shorts. When I was a little kid, fun fact, I had a Woody and a Buzz Lightyear. I had a Woody doll and a Woody doll and a Buzz. I don't know why I said doll, kind of weird. And a Buzz Lightyear, and they were like movie accurate height a little bit. And I was like, wow, I got my own. I'm like Andy in real life. Except, except for some obvious reasons. It feels like I said reasons. Anyway, let me calm down. So, and I know what everyone's thinking, and I think I made a. Well, this is part 2 anyway, so don't matter. Um, yeah, Toy Story 3, we thought it was the actual ending, and that's what we thought. and and I think I said in the last video, you know, for Toy Story 3, and even Disney and Pixar themselves confirmed it that Toy Story 3 is like the finale. But 9 years later, we got Toy Story 4, and in the past, and I think between, and I think after Toy Story 3, and before Toy Story 4 came out, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been hearing rumors about a possible Toy Story 4. And I thought it was a big old lie. And everyone was making rumors about it. And I'm saying this in my last videos in case you didn't see it. But anyway, I kind of want to talk about, and yes, of course, I am gonna go see it. I am gonna go see Toy Story 5, of course, because I'm a Toy Story fanatic. um, but I just want to, but I'm gonna answer your number one question: Is Toy Story 5, and then is Toy Story 5 the unnecessary sequel? Well, we all thought about that for Toy Story 4, and yet somehow, despite the ending, it turned out to be a pretty good Disney movie, a pretty good Toy Story 4 movie. Although the plot of it was although the side plot was weird, even, okay, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but in case you haven't seen it, but just in case you have already, I don't know why I'm doing this hand motion, it looks weird. And to the people, anyway, to the people who had deformities on their hands, I apologize. I don't mean to make fun of you. I, so we had this side plot of Woody going to reuniting with Bo Peep, and excuse me, and if that side plot was actually the main plot of the movie, I have nothing against Forky. I'm pretty sure the actor, who voiced Forky is a pretty funny dude. I'm pretty sure he has done awesome things before, he got casted in Toy Story 4. I'm sure he's a cool dude, but if, let's say for example, they kept the part when Woody snuck in for kindergarten with Bonnie or whatever. I think it was kindergarten, I don't know. Um, I had to rewatch the movie to double check. And then Woody encouraged Bonnie to make Forky, and then well and behold, you know, if Forky right away except, if they erase the fact that Forky is still trash and they replace it with that he instantly, you know, thinks, oh, I'm a toy now. I'm gonna stay with you guys. If they did that, and then Woody, and this is what my initial thought was when I heard about Toy Story 4 being out or being announced, aka rumored. I thought, uh, you know, they said it was gonna be like a romantic comedy, and other people say it was gonna be like a road trip movie. And once they heard, once I heard that it was gonna be a road trip movie, I was like, oh no, we're gonna do the Alvin and the Chipmunks route, where the toys are gonna get into mischief and eventually sing a couple songs. One of them was Bruno Mars' song. And I was like, wait, this wasn't a musical. Although would you believe me if I told you that Toy Story was so popular that they literally made a musical. I need a tissue. Wow. They made a, sorry, they made a musical of the first movie, and they actually did the same thing. They made Toy Story 1 and 3 on ice. They actually did. Look it up. Toy Story on Ice and the Toy Story musical. Look it up. Most of you in this generation, you're on your phones anyway, so you might as well look it up while you're at it. So, no, I'm serious. Look it up. And so, and I thought, romantic comedy. Maybe it's gonna get to the point where Woody started having like dreams about Bo Peep, and he wants to go see her again. And my initial thought was, Woody wants to go see her so bad. So he tells the rest of the gang, he was like, hey, I've been having these dreams, and they probably mean nothing, but they've been telling me, they've been telling me something about Bo Peep, and I have to go see her. Maybe she needs help with something. And that encouraged Buzz to go with him, like, hey, Woody, I don't want you to go out there alone. Dangerous world out there for a toy. 10 points if you got that reference. And you know who said it in which Toy Story movie. So I'm gonna go with you. Anyone wants to tag along, you can. So they meet up. So Woody and Buzz goes off while Bonnie is like, distracted with kindergarten, and she is distracted with Forky. Which, by the way, he's a spork. I have one little nitpick about Forky. Yes, he's technically a fork, and technically he is a spoon combined. Wouldn't it make sense to call him Sporky? Would that make sense? You can let me know in the comments. Debate in the comments. I don't know. But Woody and Buzz go out to go find Bo Peep and see where she is. And then, what was I saying? And then they meet up with, the characters we haven't seen since the first movie. Like, for example, they ran into Rocky, who somehow speaks full English, and he speaks full sentences now, somehow. and at some point in the movie, he sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone combined. And then eventually they see, RSC, I was gonna say Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles. They went into RSC and then Edge at Sketch, and they went into Weezy, who we haven't seen since Toy Story 2, and good majority of the characters we haven't seen since the first movie. Since the first two movies. They run into most of them, and then there was this like villain side plot of where of Stinky Pete and Zurg teaming up together because Stinky Pete wants revenge on Woody and the gang for what happened at Toy Story 2. And then he wanted extra help, so he recruits Zurg. He says, listen, I don't like outer space toys, and I don't like them at all. But since you're taller than me and stronger than me, and you have a gun, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but you have, a weapon. Let's team up for now. You can get rid of, Buzz Lightweight, and I can get my revenge on Woody and his other friends. And Zurg would be like, okay. So, and they trying to find Woody and Buzz, and they're like, and then eventually they have this conversation where Stinky Pete says, okay, listen, I know you're like a robot and everything, but how do you not have ears? Heck, how do you not have a nose? And, Stinky Pete would be like, technically I know you're a robot, technically, but how do you hear people when they talk to you? How do you... And I know we're toys, we're not supposed to smell food, but... Wasn't you supposed to have a nose at some point? And then Zurg would respond like, at least my nose doesn't make me look like a missing Mario brother. I doubt Zurg will make a reference to the Mario Brothers, but that would actually what I would thought. That'd be funny though if Zurg actually said that, if that was the movie. The Toy Story 4, the version of Toy Story 4 that I thought of, originally, before we got the Toy Story 4 we got now. Again, I doubt, Zurg will make a Nintendo reference to a Nintendo mascot, but... but that would be a funny joke. That would be a funny joke. At least I don't look like a missing Mario brother. And then Pete would be like, touche. Or something like that. I don't know. Pete would be so thrown off of what Zurg said, he can't think of a response. He'll be like, touche. Anyway, let's keep looking for them. If we got that version of Toy Story 4 instead of the one we actually got, then I would say yes, let's get Toy Story 5 and have that villain plot, somehow back in Toy Story 5. Oh my god, if that actually happened, oh man, that would be hilarious. And then we eventually see Lotso, and he teams up with them, and he was like, hey, I want that same thing you want, I want revenge on Woody and the gang. And they're like, okay, you can join us. And then eventually we see Woody and Buzz reuniting with Sid's mutant toys that we haven't seen since Toy Story 1. And they instantly recognize him and like, hey, and they started talking somehow. Like, hey guys, remember us? Or something like that. And then they see Zurg, Stinky Pete, and Lotso together rushing them. And the mutant toys would be like, you go find your lady friend. We'll handle these three. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the ending of the version I thought of, but yeah. And the mutant toys, let's just say, they kind of got violent against Zurg, Lotso, and Stinky Pete. I'm not gonna get any further than that, but wow, this is a really random part 2 to that video. I'm starting to realize this is a really semi-violent part 2. But hey, at least I'm telling you what I thought of, or what I originally thought for Toy Story 4. And then Woody convinces Bo Peep, hey, I don't want you to be out there by yourself while these three guys could possibly be after you, so... And for some reason they have you as hostage. So why don't you just come with us to live with Bonnie? And Bo Peep, alongside Billy Goat and Gruff, would be like, okay. And then we also see, and then Bo Peep was his other toy, who I could have sworn looks like Combat Carl from the first Toy Story movie, who got blown up, but he got back together. Got it. Something like that, so. But yeah, what do you think of my version of Toy Story 4? Would you prefer to see my version, or do you like the version of Toy Story 4 we got? So with that said, Take care, bitches.